guys, welcome to Carol's Universe, Tarot Readings from the Heart. Thanks ever so much for joining me on your week ahead reading. Just to let you know how the reading's going to go, we do your weekly check-in first. Then we have a look at more specifically your work, and we also have a look at your love life during the week. I'd like to say, guys, thanks ever so much for joining me this week for your reading. And yeah, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Hi guys, welcome to Carol's Universe, Tarot Readings from the Heart. Thanks ever so much for joining me on your week ahead. Guys, this week, showing you the decks that we're using for your reading. We're doing the 22nd through to the 28th of June 2020. We're using for your general message for the week, the Gilded Tarot Royale by Ciro Marchetti. For your career reading, we're going to use the Modern Spellcaster's Tarot by Melanie Marquis and Scott. I think illustrated by Scott Murphy and text by Melanie Marquis. And for your love reading, we're going to use the After Tarot. Don't use these ones very often at all. Lo Scarabeo. Love, love, love these decks. So we're going to try working with these today. What I generally try to do with the Before or After Tarot is try to interpret the cards in terms of what's happening after. I noticed a lot of readers use this just like a normal deck, like you'd interpret any other deck, just generally. But for me, I prefer to look at the pictures on this particular deck, because it's after what's happened in your standard Rider-Waite, and then I kind of interpret that way. So we interpret the cards kind of what I look more at the illustration rather than the general meaning of the card. So that's going to be for your love situation. And finally, for your spiritual advice, we're using the Crazy Sexy Love Notes. I've been using this for the past few weeks, but I really like this deck, this Oracle deck. Very good. Chris Carr. Alright guys, sit back, relax, enjoy. Hi Cancer, happy birthday my darlings. You're first up. Welcome to Carol's Universe, Tarot Readings from the Heart. We're going to do your week ahead reading, so we're going to focus on your general, your career, and then your love reading. If you want to know what decks were used in this, just go to the beginning of the actual reading. You'll see the decks that I've used for this week. All right, let's make a start, guys. Okay, Cancer, let's have a look at what the message is for your career. Sorry, for your general reading, I do apologise. Justice, nice. So I always like the Justice card because it tends to right a wrong. It tends to balance things out. So where things are uneven or they're unbalanced, or things aren't working well, things tend to balance themselves, shore themselves up with the Justice card. This card can also mean big decisions, and obviously it's a card that represents legal proceedings or legal situations. Justice also means karma, so your karma is served. For example, you get the Seven of Swords in a Justice card. Somebody's receiving some form of karma, probably with the Seven of Swords for a bad deed. So this is also karma being served as well. And Justice is an impartial card. So if you've been good, because Justice represents it, Justice in a way for me is like the Wheel of Fortune. Both cards talk about karmic energy, karmic rewards. What you put in is what you get out from the universe. I was just about to say university, the universe. Let's look at the next one. Okay, so I think that some of you guys probably have made a very big decision this week, or you're making a really big decision probably here. It looks to let something go, to abandon something. Eight of Cups is the card of abandonment. It's ruled by Pisces, but it's Pisces in Saturn, I think. So it's a card that represents when you've had enough of something, when something has been tried and it's been tested and you've worked with it and you've deliberated over it. It represents that it's the letting go and it's the release of a boundary. This is really, I think, one of the only cards that Saturn allows the person to actually release the stronghold and the limitations on a situation. So I think that some of you guys probably facing a decision here. It's all about making a decision with the Justice energy in terms of, probably about abandoning a situation, letting something go, walking away from a situation here with the Eight of Cups energy showing here. The Queen of Pentacles. So perhaps the decision is being made to walk away from an individual. Perhaps this person is a earth sign individual. Perhaps this is a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or perhaps this is a job. Maybe this is a high-falutin job. The Queen of Coins would be somebody in a high, status, for example. This could also be the home, or this could be, you generally find with coin people, I find, they like security, especially, they're coins. So you get people, especially, not so much the Page of Coins. The Page of Coins is just about learning. But certainly with the Knight of Coins for me, the Queen of Coins and the King of Coins, those three court cards really like stability. And she's somebody who likes to be stable and secure. She's all about the home. She's all about having everything in its rightful place. She's really tidy. She likes to know what she doesn't like surprises. She's not particularly spontaneous. So maybe there's a decision to walk away from an individual here, but also it could be there's a decision, maybe something to do with your job with the Queen of Coins energy, or maybe something to do with the home, or even a marriage perhaps with the Queen of Coins energy showing there. Page of Swords. So Page of Swords, arguments or information, communication, emails. Page of Swords energy showing here. Yeah, I'm definitely seeing some form of arguments going on here, because you've got a Page of Swords aspected by that Five of Wands. There could be arguments that are caught, it may be that you've got arguments with this person. Maybe you've got, some form of an argument going on with an individual. I mean, this isn't necessarily the home. This is how comfortable you would be within the home. So I think that some of you guys are making a decision. I think it's to abandon with that Eight of Cups energy, a particular individual here, a Queen of Pentacles here. I think some of you guys have been arguing with this person. Okay, maybe this person's been quite critical of you. Maybe this person's been gossiping about you with the Page of Swords energy, or it's a straight up argument. Lots of confrontation with the Five of Wands energy showing with you and this individual here. Or maybe you've just decided to abandon this person here. Maybe there's lots of kind of gossip going on. Maybe this person gossips a lot. Maybe it's making you very anxious with the Five of Wands energy. You can read the Five of Wands in an amalgamation of ways. But I do see conflict and anxiety and arguments perhaps with an individual here. And I get the impression, Cancer, that some of you guys are going to decide to abandon that as a general message this week. What's going on around career? Career, the Six of Pentacles. So this is about receiving money, receiving your fair share, receiving recognition, help, support. Usually it's because it's work, it's financial. So this is getting a payment, for example, being paid what you're due with the Six of Coins energy. Some good news. I think you're getting some good news. It's probably around something to do with money, a payment, for example, coming in. Because the Page of Wands is good news. This is like good career news, like good message coming through. Six of Coins energy is aspected by that Six of Coins, so it looks to be like a payment coming through, because this is getting paid. Let's have a look at the next one showing here. Yeah, the Knight of Cups energy. It looks like there's some good news coming through a payment. It looks like with the Knight of Cups energy, it's being delivered. A payment is being delivered finally. With this Knight of Cups, the Page of Wands being the message, the delivery person being the Knight of Cups, and the payment card being the Six of Pentacles. So it looks like a payment is being delivered here from an organisation, the Hierophant. Could also be, perhaps this is something to do with, if some of you guys are perhaps, if it's something to do with you running your own business, for example, and we're just about coming out of, I mean, certainly in the UK, they're raising lockdown, as you know, and things are kind of changing and businesses are getting back up and running. But some of you guys won't be back in the office or back in the workplace, and some of you guys will probably be out of a job. So if you've been waiting for money to come, like a payment, the Six of Coins is definitely a card about getting paid. That's a good message coming through. This is a delivery, so a delivery being a delivery of payment, good news. It's coming from the government, Hierophant, or it's your organisation. So good news from your organisation, payment being delivered. Knights are delivery boys as well. The Three of Pentacles. Okay, this looks like, I mean, the Hierophant is aspected by the Three of Coins, and the Three of Coins is work. So it looks like it's coming from a workplace, the organisation in which you work. So an organisation, Hierophant, the place that you would work in with the Three of Coins energy. So this looks like to me, if you've been waiting to get paid from work, for some of you guys, it looks to me like there's a payment coming in. There's good news around a payment. Payment's now being delivered. Okay, the Hierophant, it's from an organisation, the Three of Coins, the place in which you would work. So it looks like it's coming from an organisation that you would work in. Probably some of you guys have been waiting for a payment to come through. It looks like it's coming through this week or in the next couple of weeks. But it's almost like you're going to get a notification that that money is coming through. If it's not from work, then it will be some form of government-related work thing going on here with the Three of Coins and the Hierophant. Finally, for love, what have we got? I always find these cards, the After Tarot, difficult in a way to interpret, because they're after what's happened in the normal time. And that's how I choose series. Or else, what's the point? For me, what's the point buying the after tarot or the before tarot if you're just going to interpret it like any other tarot card? It doesn't make much sense to me. So I always try and interpret what's going on afterwards. So I'm seeing a healing of a heart here. They're almost like reversals for me, the after tarot is. I'm seeing that, can you see how the heart is bandaged? So in love, can you see how the swords are now out of the heart? So I'm seeing the healing is being bandaged. So I'm seeing some healing coming in, love-wise here. Three of Swords energy going on there. King of Cups. Cancer, I could read that as you, but I'm choosing to read, well actually no, I am going to read that as you. I think that this is you, because you're throwing out the water. So your emotions, you're throwing away the emotions. You're no longer holding on to something emotionally, because usually the cup is upwards. So he's holding on to some emotions. And you know, with the King of Cups, you know that he's often considered to be quite an emotionally controlled individual. In the reverse, he tends to be really uncontrolled emotionally, crying and flaying of arms and depressed and blaming everyone. But in the upright, he's kind of very accountable to himself, and he knows how to control himself emotionally. Here, it's not a reversal. But here it doesn't feel like you're out of sorts. It's aspected by a healing heart of the Three of Swords. So I feel that there is something healing now. I think that you're letting go of something emotionally. The water's coming out of the cup. That's you, I would read then as the King of Cups here, okay? The Five of Cups, I mean, there is still some loss here, but you are now looking towards the Two of Cups. Can you see how you've turned your face away from the Three of Cups? You're no longer focusing on the heartache, the disappointment of that failed relationship here, and you're kind of just starting here. And you can see the clouds are up in the sky there as well, Cancerian. So we can see that the clouds are just starting to lift. When you get clouds on a card and they're above the person, it shows that the clouds are starting to lift. If the clouds are downwards, it shows that very much the person's probably still quite depressed, still, feeling very, disappointed and down and that type of thing. They're still in the glums. But when the clouds are above, you can see the clouds are lifting here, and the face is slightly starting to turn towards the Two of Cups. So it's almost like some of you guys are healing from a relationship separation here. You're letting go of these emotions of sadness that you were once holding on to, and you're starting to look at the Two of Cups. You're now starting to look around and say, well, maybe I should focus on getting involved with somebody else here. Let's have a look at the next one. Yeah, brilliant. Look at that. The Star. There's a release here. Can you see how you're washing yourself clean? So definitely there's a release here with the Star energy. There's great hope. There's great aspiration. You're washing yourself clean as well. You're probably thinking about starting to, with that bird up in the air, starting to probably, if you do internet dating, starting to get back onto internet dating, opening up those communication lines, because also the Star card represents, the internet and that type of thing. Can you see how you're washing yourself clean? You're washing yourself clean. Lots of water here. Very good, but the water is being, because sometimes when you get water and it's being held in cups, it can represent you holding on to an emotion here, especially if it's not a great emotion. So washing yourself clean here, Cancerians, which is absolutely phenomenal. Lots of hope, starting to open up those communication lines again. What's the next one showing here? The Seven of Coins. So you can see here, this is bringing rewards now. So you can see that finally washing yourself clean of whatever it is, releasing. See, we're releasing water here, and we're releasing water in both cards here. So basically I'm seeing here, Cancerians, letting go of some emotion that you've been holding on to. Okay, washing yourself clean, the Star energy, letting go of emotion, the King of Cups that you've been holding on to, healing with that Three of Swords, healing of the broken heart, starting to now turn around and look at, the possibility of a new relationship here. It's probably bringing in rewards with the Seven of Coins, because you can see finally the coins have come to fruition. So what was once seeds has now kind of bloomed into, it's bloomed into, whatever these coins are, because you would have planted the seeds and you would have seen the results of that through these coins. And he's actually chopped one of the coins off and he's carrying it around with him. So it's starting to yield results. And when I say it's yielding results, let's kind of get a clarifier on this. Actually, I might get should have got this before as a clarifier, my clarifying cards. Let's have a look at what rewards are coming in as a result of this. I think we'll get the we'll get the small Bohemian Tarot out, Cancerian. So, oops, daisy. What have I just dropped? Okay, it's okay. Okay, let's have a look. So what are the rewards that you're starting to see take shape? What are the rewards that the Cancerians are starting to gather now? Because you're gathering in the harvest, aren't you, there? Can you see there? So what are the rewards that Cancer is getting now as a result of healing of the broken heart, letting go of the emotion, starting to focus now on new relationships, healing here, of the, healing and cleansing off the emotions, cleansing themselves free, starting to think about possibly communicating with others again, feeling positive, and it's starting to yield results. What are the results that it's yielding here in 2 cards for Cancerians? Let's have a look. The Hierophant, it's yielding, it's the results that are being, the rewards that are being gained now with the Hierophant. This is value for me. The Hierophant would be values. Okay, the 3 of Swords here, which is interesting. Hierophant and the 3 of Swords. Okay, I think the rewards are that you're separating yourself. You're cutting yourself away from a commitment here, because the Hierophant and the 3 of Swords, that's often the divorcing or the separation of a committed relationship, because the Hierophant in a love reading can be a committed relationship, and the 3 of Swords can be the separation, the divorce. So I think that the rewards that you're starting to yield now is that once you were committed to this individual, the Hierophant energy showing here, you were very committed to this individual here. But I feel that, and also, I feel that with the Hierophant being a card about beliefs and values and, tradition as well, if we wanted to really go down that rabbit hole, this was a habit, because the Hierophant represents, and it's funny because they do wear kind of these habits, don't they? But Hierophant is all about laws, it's all about traditions, it's all about doing things in a certain way. It's about religion. So when we're doing things religiously, we're doing them because it's the way that it's always been done. So really with me, with the 3 of Swords energy, it's kind of cutting oneself free from a habit, from a tradition, from the religiosity of doing something in the same way over and over again. So if you wanted to probably look deeper into those 2 cards, for me, it's about cutting yourself off from a tradition, from doing something the same old way. You were so used, I think whatever happened here, Cancerians, if it relates to any of you guys, you were so used to being with a particular person. You were so used, even if the relationship wasn't that great, you were so used to just things being the way that they were, all the time. For some of you guys, it was a marriage maybe of 10, 20, 30 years perhaps. For some of you guys, you were involved with a partner, a long-term partner for 3, 4, 5 years, and you got used to the habit of being with that person. And I think it was a really difficult thing when you and this individual broke up. But now we're seeing the healing of the heart, finally releasing those emotions that you'd pent up for so long, finally starting to look around at those 2 cuts behind you and saying, you know what, maybe there could be somebody else out there for me. Finally cleansing yourself, healing yourself with the star, opening up the communication lines with the bird flying there. Lots of hope with the star just above your head. And finally starting to reap the results of that. And the results are that you are finally starting to cut away from that Hierophant energy. From your commitment to this individual, from your commitment to a relationship, no matter how bad it was, just sticking in that relationship day in, day out. Finally, you're starting to cut yourself off from that, separate yourself from that, which is great. All right, let's quickly reiterate the reading before we do the spiritual advice for the week. Generally, it's really good. You've got a decision here to make. Some of you guys making a decision to abandon a situation. The 8 of Cups energy showing there. It looks like the abandonment could be involving an individual who are a Queen of Coins. Who knows? This could be a work situation. For example, maybe you're deciding to abandon your position as a Queen of Coins energy. Maybe there are arguments with competitors. So Page of Swords is an argument card as well. And the 5 of Wands could be competitors. So maybe for some of you guys it's a work thing. There's arguments with competitors, with jealous people, whatever it is in the workplace. And you're deciding, you know what, I've had enough of this. I'm deciding to look for something else. Some of you guys making a decision to abandon whoever this Queen of Coins is. Could be a sister, a friend. Maybe it's your mom, whoever it is. Again, I'm getting some form of arguments here with the Page of Swords energy showing there. To me, it looks like an argument. You can read it as an argument. It's aspected by that 5 of Wands. There's an argument here. There's challenges that you're facing maybe with this individual, but also anxiety via arguments with this individual. So just looks like you're abandoning on the whole. The advice is the need to probably make a decision to abandon an individual, or it could be a job or a status thing. Especially if you're running into problems and there's arguments and there's lots of anxiety there, it's a good idea maybe to just, walk away from it and let it go. In terms of your career, I'm seeing money coming through for some of you guys. There's a payment card here of the Six of Pentacles energy, receiving a payment showing through here. This could also be, if you get the Six of Coins as well, especially as the Hierophants in the reading as well, Six of Coins can be like a card about aid. So this is like with the Hierophant, government aid or government payment coming through. Good news, money's being delivered. For some of you guys, it will be financial aid is being received via the government, so it would be a government check. In the UK, it would be something like universal credit, that type of thing. Got good news, it's being delivered here for work. Three of Coins energy showing here. From the workplace as well, for example. So for some of you guys, maybe you're getting furloughed, or maybe you're getting money from the government because you're off work or something. This could be for some of you guys sick pay or something like that. But there could be money coming via the government as a result of the work that you've done, that type of thing. And also for some of you guys, it may just strictly be money coming from your workplace as well that's being delivered that you've been waiting on. Finally, for love, I'm seeing the healing of a broken heart here. Finally releasing an emotion here. Finally letting it go, which is lovely with the King of Cups energy showing there. You're turning away from the failed relationship and you're looking towards something new. So finally, you're kind of like, it's kind of like a little bit reluctantly here, but you are turning around. You're saying, you know what? Maybe I ought to focus now. I've got to let this go. It almost feels like, my energy feels like when I look at the cards, Cancer, you're saying, you know what, I've got to let this go. It hurts, but I've really got to let this go. So some of you guys really letting go of this relationship that didn't work out. You don't really want to, but you know it's time. You know that you can't carry on mourning it forever. And you're starting generally now to look at that Two of Cups there, and you're saying, you know what, maybe there is something else out there for me. And then you decide, you say, you know what, I'm going to wash that guy or that girl right out of my hair. You know that song, Wash That Girl or Guy right out of my hair. I think it's South Pacific or something like that. But you're washing this person out of your hair. Opening up communication lines again with others. Okay, starting to feel positive about that with the Star, which is wonderful. And you're seeing the results of that with the Seven of Coins energy showing there. Because he's basically chopped a coin off this card. He's taking it off and he's saying, yep, everything's come to fruition now. I'm starting to see the results of all the hard work. Because this is all the hard work you've put in. And with the Seven of Coins here, you really are starting to see the results of that. And the results are that you can finally cut yourself off from that Hierophant, from that relation, from that commitment that you had to this individual, from the religious behaviour that you were kind of, you know, engaging in concerning this person, whether the relationship was good or bad, whether this person, you worked out on this person, whether they worked out on you. You were very, very still beholden. I think you were very much still beholden to them, Cancerians, but I'm seeing you kind of letting it go and saying, you know what, that's it, I'm done. Right, I've put the work in, I'm seeing the results now. In other words, these two cards are really saying you're not feeling so bad anymore. Actually, I would say, I would go to as far as to say that some of you guys, this was a twin flame probably. I'm getting a twin flame here. There was an extraordinary attachment you had. But this Hierophant is the bond, commitment's a bond. And we see you separating yourself from the bond. So I'm seeing you actually releasing a tie here. I'm seeing the cutting off a tie showing up here with this individual here. So, and I think that there's going to be an immense, even if it's not this week, Cancerians, I just feel there'll be an immense sense of freedom and you'll be able to breathe again. It's almost like you can breathe again. I'm just getting you kind of this tie being cut with another individual here, which is lovely. All right, let's have a quick look at what the spiritual advice is for the week. Gossip dims your glow, which is interesting because that could be somebody who gossips. This Queen of Coins, she's aspected by that page. So there may be you're abandoning somebody here. That's not you. You're abandoning this Queen here who tends to gossip. All right. And possibly with the Five of Wands, it's causing friction or anxiety, or she's just a troublemaker. Let's have a look at what it says. It says, speaking poorly about others tarnishes your energy and your reputation. So avoid bonding over complaints and feeling superior. Human beings weren't designed to be perfect, and this includes you. Instead, raise your vibration by engaging in positive communication. Celebrate what does work and who is awesome. And the more you do this, the more you radiant you will become. Well, isn't that really interesting? Some of you guys making a decision to abandon a person that maybe you guys, with the Five of Wands also being an engagement card, it looks more like a fight here though. But this could be a group gossip thing as well, because Five of Wands is a group. And the Page of Swords is gossip. So some of you guys are making a decision to abandon a person and maybe gossip like a group that you've been gossiping in with this individual. So that could definitely play into this advice here. But this is definitely playing in, I think, to this energy here, that it's an important time this week just to disengage from any type of gossip, whether it's about you or whether you're engaging in it. It's time to disengage from that because it's a negative energy, and what we want to do is raise our bright vibrations, especially on your birthday week, Cancerians. All right, that's your reading for the week, my lovelies. Thanks ever so much for joining me on Carol's Universe. If you would like your own private reading, click on the link in the comment section or at the end screen, and have an absolutely fabulous week. And I will see you guys on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.